I don't know if I've checked in at all yet for this week's vlog. Can't remember. I had a wonderful plan for the night. I was going to break into some new yarn, and I had made myself a pot of tea, white peach tea from the Beantown Tea Company. It's really yummy. And I was going to cast on a new pair of socks. So I took a picture because I joined Instagram last night. My son Nate was showing me how to do it. He does lots of photography. He's a film student, and he's really involved in Instagram, and he showed me how to do it. So I posted last night for the very first time, and it was fun and exciting, and I trolled around and looked at people's pictures, and I tried to do it for myself tonight. Would you like to see what frustration is? Insert photo here. So I don't know if my phone is just thinking, or if I did it wrong. I suspect that one, or what. So that is not how I intended to spend my evening. You probably can't see me, and here comes the cat, staring at a screen, hoping that it would do something. You know what? I'm putting these back on. I hope you can see me, but I like being able to see. I will take a minute to show you the progress that is going on the summer tank. So this is a split back tank by Allison Griffith, and I managed to get about this much done New Year's Eve. This was my New Year's Eve cast on. And then the next day was here. And then this was the next day. And this was all of yesterday. And I've only done part of 2 rows today. I'm kind of taking a little knitting break because my hand is bothering me again. And I feel like I should be listening to my body just a tiny bit more. So I didn't knit at all today until it was time to take the girls to violin. Violin was very serious tonight. Beatrice decided that she doesn't really like it, and so we talked with her, and we're going to let her quit, but her teacher reminded her that she committed for a year, and her teacher would like her to make it through the spring recital, which is my preference too. I don't want it to be a chore. I want them to love music, and Bunny absolutely does, and I think Better does too. I think that last year she was in group with a close friend, and they're in different group times this year, and because of Mandry, there hasn't been as much practicing as there should be, and so they haven't done that, so she isn't as confident this year in where she's at as she was last year, so it's on me. But her teacher did convince her that she should stay the course. That is going to involve me bribing her a little bit. So the teacher suggested that something that's worked for kids in the past is jelly beans or M&Ms. So she'll tell her to do whatever the practice is X number of times, and each time she gets an M&M. She's requested jelly beans, and she really liked that idea, and Bunny said, well, I know I like the violin, but can I have M&Ms too? And so an Amazon order is happening because, we're also going to try to work on a longer term incentive, like get through this book or learn X number of songs in Y period of time, and then you'll get Z item that you really want. Bunny is holding out for a bunny. That is unlikely to happen, although it's likely to happen in our future. It's just not likely to happen as a violin prize, in part because of Mr. Racercat here. He would love to have a pet bunny too, but I don't think that's a good plan. So, I'm going to post this tomorrow, which is Friday the 5th of January. Monday will be exciting. Monday's video, just kind of a sneak peek. Hope I don't accidentally open this box, because that would suck. Monday, we are opening on the podcast the next mystery spin. This has been in this box since July. My parents put this box of evil together. I don't know what's in here, but I do know they sent the kids downstairs for more things. And they bundled up all the supplies and had them put away before I got upstairs, before I got back to it. So even if I had been tempted to cheat and try to figure out, which I wasn't, I couldn't. My parents are sneaky. This comes from when my mother was a little girl. She used to sneak downstairs Christmas Eve and figure out what all the presents were. Not just because she was excited and wanted to know what she was getting, but also because my grandparents gave equal presents. If she was getting a doll, then her brother was getting a doll. If her brother was getting a BB gun, then she was getting a BB gun. And she, one Christmas, did this. And she put all of the toys that my uncle really, really wanted at the very, very back. And she put her copies of those toys at the front. And so while he was opening his doll, she was opening her BB gun. He was really, really upset. And after that, my grandmother wrapped the presents in newspaper in one direction and then wrapping paper the other direction, because my mother is really sneaky. She didn't get in trouble. They just prevented her from doing it again. So, sneaky runs in my family. So I think I'm going to pop back out of here, and actually, you know what, before I do that, I'm going to show you a Christmas present. My friend Reese gave me this package, and it came in this really cool bag, which apparently is an Amazon gift wrapping bag that she received on a present and decided to reuse. And I'm going to use this project bag because it should just about fit some of the garments I'm planning on doing this summer, or this year. So, it's a little bit big for the shawl, or for the tank right now, but that's where it's going. So, totally not an unboxing video. I've already been inside this. I just wanted to keep it safe until I have a chance to clean up my studio and put everything away. She got me sock blanks. Aren't they pretty? These are handmade by Homesteader, and there's no E between the D and the D and the R. Just an Etsy shop. I am gonna just hold this there and hope it's focusing. I will definitely put the link in the down bar. And they are 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, and approximately 100 grams on each. And it does look like they are my favorite kind, where it is 2 at a time. So I'm going to be dyeing these up. I'll probably do a kitchen video on doing that. I can't use my studio right now. There's 2 of them. Can't use my studio right now because it is really cold outside. I did get out of the house today. The kids are back in school, and in addition to going to violin, I got out of the house. I guess I already told you that. But the kids are back in school, and they're not having recess or anything like that. And when they get there, they're allowed to go right into the building. But it is really cold, and I'm walking, and so my husband wanted to see if I was ready to pick up the kids, and I wanted him to come with just in case. If I got tired, then I could switch drivers. If we weren't sure I was ready, then we needed to be precautious about this. And no problems, so I'll be picking up my kids, kind of getting back into my routine. Also in this box, I am totally tangent-y tonight, is this cool wax sealer. It produces this Tree of Life stamp. And these box. I'm sorry, I'm making terrible noises. Are these cool wax stars. The silver and the gold and the bronze are kind of metallic-y. The green has some metallic in it. But some of them are flat. The red ones are flat. And blue ones and purple ones seem to be metallic-y too. So there's lots of metallic-y in them. And they came with their own little spoon to melt them in. And you melt them on a tea light. So there's a couple of tea lights in there. So you melt it, you dump it, and you press the seal in. So I'm really excited to get to play with those. And people who order stuff from my shop, once I get it back open, I've closed it because of my injury, will receive a little note from me, one of these stamps on it, because I think that's super cool. She tried to find a ship or a moon, but the company she was ordering from didn't have that. But I love the Tree of Life too, so that is really, really pretty. So that was a super fun Christmas present that I got this year, which also counts as a yarn stash acquisition. Very excited. Okay, I am actually going to say goodnight for right now, and I will talk to you again later. Bye. So what I'm doing here is correcting some of this yarn. I use this one, while demonstrating, and for the most part, I have no problem doing that and talking. But sometimes you get to talking, or the wind picks up while you're doing it. I need to back this up a little bit. And for whatever reason, you aren't paying quite as much attention. Then you end up with a big slub in your yarn. But you weren't paying any attention, so it's already wound onto your cob. It's in your yarn, and now what? And you have this nice yarn, and then you get to a spot, and you have a much thicker spot, or even a little bit thicker spot, and you don't like it as well. So what are you going to do? Well, if you catch it right then, like say you're talking to somebody and go on, just back up, work it out like you'd work out any other slub. If you get to the end of the day, which is basically what happened here, although it sat for a lot longer, and you look down at your cob and it's a whole bunch of different sizes and it's not what you intended, you can walk it through. Now I'm transferring it from a top whirl drop spindle to a Jelgan, just because that happens to be the spindles I grabbed. There's no magic. This is not necessarily part of the process. It's just the one I'm using. So you can just go back, and I'm winding this without adding a lot of twist. I am adding some. You just will. You can't help but not. And when I'm correcting something, I am correcting it in the same direction that I had been working previously, and for the vast majority of the time, I'm basically just winding it from one spindle to another. But when I come to a problem spot, something that's going to make me dislike the yarn more, I correct it. There are no retakes in life, but this is a craft project, and that means that you can redo it if you don't like it. Just like I can find an error in my knitting and go back and fix it, and there's many ways to go back and fix an error in your knitting. You can rip it all out and start over, which is my mother's favorite way of doing it. You can rip it out slowly, you can tink it out, or you can actually go back, drop that stitch, and pick it all up with a crochet hook, laddering it back up, which is actually my favorite way of doing it, because then I don't have to unknit and reknit and do all of that. So if I can get away with using a crochet hook to fix an error in knitting, I will. And if I am going to love this yarn, I want it to be the way I envisioned it, which in this case is a fairly slender little yarn. If I were to leave all these big, random, not consistent, thick and thin spots in it, this yarn would sit. I wouldn't end up using this yarn for anything because it isn't what I want. I have nothing against thick and thin yarn. I love making thick and thin yarn. But I have to want to be making thick and thin yarn. That has to be the goal. That way, those thick and thin spaces will be spread out throughout the yarn and be intentional. If you're doing it unintentionally, you can tell. You can always tell. Just like when you make that mistake and you decide not to go back and correct it in your knitting or in your crochet, you know where it's at. You're going to find it. You're going to know every single time you pick it up. Now, see this spot? That's not really that big of a deal. I could get away with leaving it there. And if I weren't correcting the rest of this, I probably would, actually, because that one's really small. But I'm already in the process of correcting it. I might as well fix that little bitty spot. And then I just keep on going. And look, I'm talking to you. So the cat, who has ignored me for the entire day, other than when I have been chatting with you, is right back here by my side. Maybe he thinks I'm going crazy. Oh, you think I'm going crazy, huh? He thinks I'm going crazy. So, we've solved that mystery too. So that's all I'm doing here. And it's tangled in the blanket. It's -2 outside right now. So, even though I'm inside, I'm under multiple blankets. I have about this much to go, and I'm going to try to get that done tonight yet. So, stay warm. Hello, everybody. It is Friday, and it is 2:45, which means it is time to pick the Munchkins up from school. We are sitting in my husband's car, because the oldest has mine to go to work, because no one wanted to pick him up when he got done, because it's going to be late and even colder then. It's almost a heat wave here. It is 7 degrees. And here is everybody sitting out waiting to pick up their kids at the middle school. When I get done picking out Mouse, I will head on over to the elementary school and pick up the girls. So that is where we're at and what we're doing. I hope you are having a wonderful day and that wherever you are managing to stay warm. My mama knitted me this hat. It is cozy and it fits all my hair. If I had a bun in, it would all be underneath. I will chat with you later. Bye. Hi everybody. I am popping back in to close out the video, the vlog for this week, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the evening editing it. I did find buttons for the mittens, so those will get sewn on tonight, and that will be completely completed and hopefully in the mail very soon. I think that's about it. I did finish all my corrections. This is like this because what I'm doing is doing as much, whoops, don't take it off just yet, as much on the drop spindle as it can hold easily. And then I have more yarn that's already made, and each end is left like this. So I'll grab what is skeined up already, and I'll find its end, and I'll overlay these two pieces, and then I'll spin that bit to this bit, creating a well, it's sort of like splicing it, but it's creating it, and that will make the total length longer. I've done it, I think, 3 times on the skein, so this will be the 4th addition to that skein. I probably am going to close that skein out after that, and then ply it, I think, with some real thin silk, just to add some strength, and then start looking for something to make with it. And then I'll spin some more, because spinning is never done. Just a single project is done. So I am going to say goodnight, and I hope that your week has been absolutely lovely. Good night.